for another reaction. We're taking another look at Avatar, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you liked my first video I made on these guys. I just did it kind of like for the hell of it. You know, they came up on my recommended, so I was like, you know what, why not give these guys a shot? I know they've been around for decades. They've been one of those bands that I've been seeing on like live set lists and stuff like that, but I never really went out of my way to dove deep into these guys. I know they're very popular, I just never gave them the chance of day. You know, they have that weird, creepy sort of circus energy, you know, vibe to them when it comes to like their image and stuff like that, which I kind of like. You know, I like when bands get into like this creepy, like dark, sort of mysterious character sort of thing. So I don't know why I never checked these guys out before, but anyways, a lot of you guys liked my original video on that one. It was very interesting though. It was like very classic feeling, like it was very reminiscent of Ghost, at least for the song that I chose when it was the most recent song that came out. So, but a lot of you guys saying that they have a lot of heavier ones. They have a lot of songs, you know, with different, you know, wavelengths of heaviness when it comes to the track. So, but a lot of you said to check this one out. So today we're gonna check out this one called Hail the Apocalypse. Now this one's very old, as I can see here. It's like 12 years ago or so. So I don't know where I was in my, you know, metal journey at that time. I don't know if I was even into metal at that time. I don't even know what I was listening to. So this one came out at a time where probably I didn't even know who Avatar was at that point. So either way, I'm happy to check this one out for you guys. So I'm guessing this is more of a heavier one. It's more of like a metal sort of focus song. So I'm gonna check this one out, man. If we're gonna get some cleans, if we're gonna get some screams, if we're gonna get some breakdowns, I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But the guy does have a good clean voice though to him. Like on the Crying Fire one we checked out, you know, it's very classic sounding. It's very like hard rocky, sort of ballady, you know, tone in his voice. You know, at least with that song, because it's a very slow song. It's very, you know, like storytelling-esque in the way he was, you know, singing those words. So, but he does have an amazing voice, man, especially getting high up there during the chorus parts, man. I didn't know a clown could get that high, but either way, hopefully we get some more of that. Hopefully get some screams this time around. But I'm gonna check this one out for you guys. But before we get started, be sure to comment, appreciate it, and it really help me out. And if you like Avatar, be sure to like on this video as well. And if you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Check it out, some awesome music. We're just getting started on these heavy bangers. Ladies and gentlemen, no time wasted. Let's get right into it. This is Avatar's most popular track, I would like to think. Hail the Apocalypse. Okay. Hey, new metal. Still boys.
There's a storm heading our way. All the fear will be gone. All your sin is pushing into the ocean. You run away in the shadow, but you cannot fade the battle. One of your eyes is time to put on your war paint. For the smear, let your hate you fly. For the smear, let your hate you fly. The desert is my property. That's your last money, man. It's not a strike to fucking put on your war paint.
Different on Bell, bro. There you go. Has like a little pop punk sort of, you know, step to it. This part's very Slipknot-y though. Show show me what you guys do for the breakdown. Ooh, sort of like a little solo piece. Oh, shut it up, my guy. Woo! Got like a little hard rocky feel almost. Hey, my man combusted. Solo was too much for him. Go, boys. Oh, back in that rib. Ooh, I like that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, very different. Very different. Man, like I said, I don't know if this is one of their heaviest hitting songs. I don't know if it's just one where it just showcases his screams or something like that, but very different. Very different. Indeed, it has that old school vibe to it. Like I said, like it came out a long time ago, so I guess I don't know if their sound has changed dramatically, but they always still kept that sort of like old school, nostalgic, sort of hard rocky, kind of like reminiscent of little 80s metal in a way when it comes to some of their solos and stuff like that. But it's very old school sounding, at least in the mix when it comes to it doesn't have that like modern tone. Granted, I know this is 12 years old by now, but even in the most recent one we checked out, it's very classic sounding in the mix, I would say. But his voice though is very unique when it comes to the growls. They're very gutturally. They're more on the lower end sort of thing. You know, he does do sort of like the mid to highs in here in a way, but I feel like he's more powerful on his lower end when he can hear that guttural, you know, portray in his screams and stuff like that. So he definitely has a unique voice when it comes to his vocals. But we didn't get any cleans this time around. This one's just full on scream, full on, you know, nothing too crazy on that sort of thing. But this one, the play style was very mixed for me. It kind of, you know, it started off with that new metal-ish sort of thing, you know, very Slipknot inspired, I would say, you know, kind of reminiscent of like Devil and I a little bit in a way, you know, probably one of my favorite, you know, songs from them over there. But very reminiscent of that sort of play style. I'm sure they took a lot of inspiration from them from back in the day. But the chorus this time, it felt very like pop punky to me in a way. It felt very like, you know, upbeat. It's very like two-steppy almost in a way. Just makes you want to feel like you were jumping around, at least when they were playing like the lead riffs in the chorus sort of thing. So, but it sounded very uplifting to me in my opinion. I don't know, that's just me, but it kind of reminded me of mix between, you know, pop punk and like new metal in a way when it came to that sort of thing. But we got a solo piece in here, very classic, you know, metal, you know, hard rock metal sort of thing, you know, just shredding it up on the guitar with the, you know, simple chords, you know, muted chords, you know, backing track behind that. So nothing too crazy on that sort of thing. Maybe they're more focused on their solos. Maybe they don't really do breakdowns sort of, because I think they did that same thing. I think they did the same sort of thing in the Crying Fire one. But either way, like I said, video side of things, very, you know, funny, very wacky, you know, indeed. I don't know what the whole story was behind that, but very reminiscent of, like, you know, early 1920s, you know, Charlie Chaplin, you know, shorts and skits, you know, Three Stooges sort of thing. I'm over Three Stooges guy myself, man. But growing up watching those old school cartoons, I like that sort of thing. But I know there's a specific, you know, term for that sort of, you know, old school cartoon, old school production, you know, slapstick. Is that the thing? Slapstick comedy, I think. But either way, I don't know what that style of comedy has to do with the apocalypse coming, so I don't know what the whole story is behind that. But either way, but yeah, very interesting track nonetheless. You know, thank you guys for sharing this one. If there's any other ones you want me to check out, be sure to let me know down in the comments. I'm going to have to check more of these guys out in the future. But if this is like their sort of like tone that they do, if they're more like a old school kind of like, you know, industrial grungy mixed with like a new metalish sort of tone, because from back in the day, man, I didn't really get into that sort of sound. I didn't really like that sort of tone or that sort of style. Because when I first got into metal, like I was more of like a metalcore guy, so I really liked into that sort of play style and music. So I, mean, I didn't really get into this sort of metal genres. But if there's other sounds sound similar to that, be sure to let me know down in the comments, and I'd be happy to check these guys out more for you guys in the near future. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to hit that subscribe button, especially new here. Just going through every single channel, just don't miss out on a single one. Guarantee that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.